let there be light, and there was light. Okay, I'm just on this trail of trying to just get people to see Mother Eve in all things, and because that's what I see myself, and it's such a joyous place to be. I want to share this with other people. I want to share this with you. And so I had this thing. In fact, I go walking, and I'm often going uphill, and there's a beautiful place that I go to, and it's on top of the hill where I can see the view down below, and it always reminds me of the Psalms. I look up to the hills from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. That sort of thing. And I sort of do the numbers in my mind, and I thought, oh, whoa, the word hill is actually 23. So, of course, I was excited about that. And so I just want to share that with you. And then I thought I would do mountain. So let's just do these two words. This is going to be short, but it helps me to really capture the essence of finding Mother Eve in all things. So when we look at the, of course, I'm talking numbers here in case you are new to this channel. So this is on numerology, and we are also looking at the scriptures and how they have impacted on our lives. So let's look at the word hill, and this is 8933. And so if we add these together, that's 15, and of course with 8 would be 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now let's look at mountain, because we know that Christ was on the mountain or the mount. In fact, he was on the mount or the mountain. We hear of it's the Sermon on the Mount, which is quite popular. Okay, so let's do mountain. We can always do mount as well. So this is 4, 6, 3, 5, 2, 1, 9, 5. Now I get excited when I see 5 and 9 together. It's as if they're real tight lovers, Of course they are. Now, because it is that word in here as well. It is that in. And it kind of, well, of course, because 5 is in the middle of 9, and 9 is beginning, and 5 is ending. So, the way it all, there's a real wonderful relationship going on there. It's like 5 is really centered there. It's like saying, I am beginning and end. Basically, that's what it's saying. And we have done the numerical value for beginning and end, and that equals 5. So even if we saw that 9 is really beginning, when we add that to the end, which is 5, we still get 5, which is beginning and end. Because 9 is that, have this understanding. It's as if it's done its job. It sets the it's like an incubation as well. So whatever you put in, you get out of 9. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah. So of course we have, this is 14, but it would be 5 because I've been counting this so often. Okay. So this is 8, and 9 is 17. This would be 21. 21 plus 5 would be 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. Now, I had just done a presentation on 5 and 8, because hill is really 5, and then we have mountain is 8. So that's the relationship right here again with 5 and 8. I did that with like key and infinite. In fact, it was that the word infinite equals 5, and 5 is key. 5 is open, 5 is lock, 5 is Eve, Mother Eve, 5 is Christ Spirit, 5 is anchor. There, there are so many wonderful words. 5 is Kundalini, 5 is the melanin, of course, that which helps us grow, or the way all form of life derives from, which is Eve. In actual fact, Eve and melanin is really one and the same. It's just the different words, but they really mean the same. So we could have said melanin in the Garden of Eden, you know, or male. That's where the word male comes from. Oh, yes. It does make sense. Of course. So we are looking at number 5 and 8, and we see that it's right here. So we were looking at on the sacrifice template, where it is said, when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. You are this new creature. You are the serpent. So you are the serpent in the serpent. That is what Mother Eve wants us to know. So basically, we are in Mother Eve, but Mother Eve is also within us, because there's the serpent in us at the base of the root of the spinal cord, which is the root chakra, and it is wanting to be activated to untie those knots in all the separate individual chakras to make its way, so we can become illuminated. You can imagine, I mean, when I was like a child, growing up on the island of St. Lucia, of course I climbed trees. When you're on top of the tree, there is a certain feeling that of liberation and conquer, and you have conquered. You are feeling one with the tree as well, and you know, you can see things, of course, because it's not like we had tower blocks and you know, high buildings that you had high balconies or so at the time, and now people do, of course, but it was really trees for us, where we could see things and we would sing on trees. We were always happy to be on trees. There is something about the human spirit connecting with the tree, and that's what Mother Eve wants to really teach us how to do. That's the thing about the serpent, that being on the tree, cast down to the ground, and wanting to go back on the tree again. And that is the tree of life, the tree of knowledge. This is where we get to know, really, really know. And that's where our eyes really become open. We don't know how we deprive ourselves of what we can't see, because we do not see it now. But there is some part of us within us that remembers that we were able to see much more, or we have done this trip before. We have done it, but we haven't played that role again to see it manifest in our lives. And that's what Mother Eve wants us to remember. It's like she wants to remind us. She wants to jot our memory and says, remember when you were on that tree. Remember when you were on that fifth building or whatever, and you were able to see so much beauty. I want you to see that beauty again. Remember when you just walked down the street and you turned back and saw someone smile at you, and you both smiled simultaneously. Remember that. That's what Mother Eve wants us to remember. She wants us to ask her, what happens, or what is the determining factor? What is the underlying theme or element that makes people do that? That makes strangers just turn simultaneously on opposite sides of the road and smile at each other. She wants to convey the essence of that to us. So here we are looking at hill and mountain, and the hill and the mountain is the introduction of the number 8, of course, because mountain is really 8, and the hill. Now this is the thing, we would think that the mountain, I would think of a mountain to be a much bigger and more obstructive and more huge structure to a hill. Of course, the mountain perhaps is more descriptive in that sense, of course, for whatever reason, but the hill, which equals number 5, is telling us, you know, that hill can swallow up the mountain. Hence, we again, as the Psalms, I say my prayers unto the hill from whence cometh my help. You know, this is the hill. I hope I have said this correct, but there are so many hills in the Psalms as well. And we do understand now why Christ was praying on the hill. This is the hill Christ was praying on. He was on the mountain, and of course he was on the hill. So this is where we are saying we utter our prayers to the hill or on the hill going up. And of course, once something is eaten or swallowed up, of course, we say up meaning a hill as well. We know that this is really the route taking us to illumination. So here we say when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. Okay, let there be light, and there was light. So I hope you find the light in this presentation, and please leave your lights as well. Let me share your lights, and share your comments with me. I would love to hear them. Thank you very much. Okay, namaste, and spill over with love.